Thanks so much, Jeff. So next I'd like to introduce Peter Collins, the CEO of A2B Tracking.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me, Peter Collins here, A2B Tracking, the CEO. So, trending now, automation. What is automation? Well, let's start with answering the question of why automation. Typically, it's because we want to take a task and make it better, more accurate, faster, maybe even cheaper to do. That's often why we're driven to automate. Now, who remembers the Jetsons? Now, when was the first debut of the Jetsons? Can anyone name the year? Close on 64, 65, I think I heard. 1962. 62 is the original. So it was supposed to take place 100 years into the future, right? So that's 2062. Now at the time, for a frame of reference, George Jetson was supposed to be 40 years old, if you're following me here on the math. So that means that George would have been born last year. So think about that for a moment. So Rosie, let's get back to automation here for a moment. Rosie is something that we have yet to realize. But all right, George was just born. Rosie performs a level of automation I don't see in my house. I don't know about you, but think about the areas of automation that we do have come to appreciate today. There's been a lot of talk about ChatGPT and OpenAI these days. Now, if you haven't had a chance to dabble in this technology or test it out or see it in use of any kind, you can imagine you want to take a trip to Italy. You want to maybe visit Milan and Rome. You can go into ChatGPT and you can tell them, build me an itinerary for a 2-week visit to Rome and Milan. And it will do it. And it will do it pretty well, in fact. If you haven't had a chance to try it out, you should try it. It's pretty neat. Now, there's one example of automation we can all agree. Now, I'm also here standing before you as a software guy. It's what we do at A2B Tracking. We build software. We can take chunks of code and we can bring it into the system, and it will debug that code for us. And it will tell us why it was being debugged. That's automation. So that brings me to automation and property. How is automation, or how could automation affect you as property professionals? Maybe we could count things a little faster, a little more accurately. Maybe we can move data a little bit more seamlessly. Today, there are many ways to count using machines. Are you using these machines? We have ways of counting items that are coming into the warehouse simply by putting up sensors and being able to detect inventory or physical assets that are moving in and out of a warehouse, or through areas in a warehouse, or in an office space. There are ways of, if you choose the right tool, to be able to count things at 1,300 counts per second. So the technology is there. It's very real. What are you doing about it? There also are ways in which to automate data flows. Are you still relying on the swivel chair or the manual data entry? Did you know that you could take data right from your ERP system and feed it into your government property management system? And then, without any manual effort. No importing, exporting, no copy pasting. And then with another single click, you could get all of that data reported through to Pi, or these government systems that need this data, and increasingly more and more data because they need good information coming from you as the community. Are you automating? Think about what we do today to rely on automation. There are cars, there are planes that are self-driving and self-flying. That's automation. When we order something online, it's possible that a robot actually picked from a warehouse and made sure that that shipment got out the door destined for your home or the storefront you visit. Even in your home, there's automation going on all the time. There are thermostats in your house that will detect the temperature, know where you want it to set, and it will self-adjust and create that comfortable environment inside your home. So if you're still walking around with a clipboard, if you're still counting items, performing inventory counts that way, and if you're still also swivel chairing, copy pasting, importing, exporting, you shouldn't be. There are many great, very viable options in the market that let you continue to streamline that automation. Now, we're not to rosy yet, and at least in my house we're not, and I'm not sure when we're going to get there, but when you can take a task, take a job, and you can do it more effectively, better, faster, cheaper, there are great rewards that you could benefit from. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about automation, at 3:15 this afternoon, I'm hosting an automation session right here around the corner in the Gateland area. So come join, love to see you. Thanks.